Welcome back to Cyber Sea of Galilee, DSMME, on this beautiful Sunday, July 25th. This Sunday is a double whammy. Why? Because first of all, it's a Sunday, and every Sunday is as great as it gets. And then secondly, because it is the feast of St. James the Greater, the apostle, the martyr, a tremendous saint in the early church, the first apostle to be martyred. And so we really do celebrate today this being number one apostle martyred for Christ, following in his footsteps along the way to Calvary. But first, let's begin with the second reading from the Divine Liturgy from Ephesians 4, 1-6. Brothers and sisters, I, a prisoner for the Lord, urge you to live in a manner worthy of the call you have received, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another through love, striving to preserve the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace, one body and one Spirit, as you were also called to the one hope of your call. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. It's amazing how the Church, by the Holy Spirit's inspiration, puts together the gospel readings and the other readings, the epistle readings. This one that we just completed was from Ephesians, so writings of St. Paul for this particular feast day, being a martyr, St. James the Greater. He was the brother of St. John. St. John, of course, is the disciple whom Jesus loved. So says St. John in his gospel. And they were both sons of Zebedee, who was just a fisherman, along with Peter and Andrew and their father as well. But St. James' martyrdom was executed by sword on the orders of King Herod. And in the book of the Acts of the Apostles, we read this in chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. Now about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain members of the church, and he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. This is early on, not that long after Christ's own death on Calvary. James is the patron saint of Spain, and so anyone who has Spanish blood should love this feast day. And his shrine is at the Cathedral of Santiago de Campstella. And it's been a place of pilgrimage for many, many centuries. People who couldn't go on pilgrimage there would, they say, build grottos, sometimes of shells, seashells, bits of broken colored glass, stones, flowers, in honor of this great saint. It was also a tradition that many people still observe to eat oysters on the feast of St. James. But you probably have heard of the pilgrimage of Santiago de Campstella. And many of my friends have actually been on this pilgrimage. And it is something to really consider if you have the health and you are able to get away long enough to do it, even a part of it, because everyone comes back with a renewed heart and a renewed spirit, telling of the many wonderful people that they met along the way, walking this holy ground in honor of the great saint who, St. James, became the first martyr of all the apostles. God bless you on this beautiful Sunday, July 25th, feast of St. James the Apostle and the first martyr.